Hello and welcome to tonight's episode of A Party of Two, where a married couple takes on a world of gods and monsters. I am your DM or GM for the evening, Hayley.
And I will be your player character, Weston. And
yeah.
Tonight we continue the story of the Scions.
Oh my gosh, you guys, our tech has been a little crazy, so like the last 5 minutes has been a little insane, which is why we're a little bit late starting today, so we apologize about that.
Well, we just, this week, hit affiliate.
We hit affiliate!
And there's a whole ton of things we can do now as an affiliate to help make the experience better for you.
Yes.
For the viewers, and we are trying as hard as we can to get those all set up to make it just more fun to watch.
Yep, and you guys are going to have a lot more of an impact on the stream itself, which is really exciting. So,
Yes.
Will you turn the music down just a teeny bit? It's kind of distracting. But the really cool thing that we have all set up now, which we didn't have before, is called channel points. Woo! Our channel points are going to be directly influencing what happens on in our game and on the stream. So we're gonna have two different types of channel points or two different things you can spend your channel points on. First will be hero points. That is what is currently set up right now. That is going to be 500 channel points.
Yes.
500 channel points for a hero point, and that gives us players the opportunity to re-roll one d20 roll. So Andoriana and Az are going to have the chance to re-roll one d20. Now, with each of the sessions with Pathfinder, that normally comes in, you get one hero point, and you can have a max of 3. So if you guys are feeling super duper generous, we could all have 3. We could both have 3 hero points by the end of the game, which would be really great.
Well, hopefully we don't have any by the end of the game. We use them.
I know. Hopefully we've used them all. But the other type of not hero point is called a villain point. I don't know why I explained it that way. We don't have this one set up yet, but I do want to just explain kind of what it is. It's exactly the same thing as a hero point, except it's for our villains. Dun, dun,
so
dun!
You want the bad guys to be able to take another shot at us. You don't like the fact that they missed. Well, you can...
if you're ticked off at one of our characters, you're more than welcome to use your hero points or your channel points to purchase a villain point, which is always fun.
It is.
So we'll have villain points, set up and ready to go next week, as well as
we'll have villain points.
We'll have our villain points set up. Oh my gosh. Next week, as well as our bits, which is going to enable you guys to actually purchase creatures that are going to go into our encounters, and up to from really low level creatures, creature levels 2, 3, 4, 5, up to even purchasing an encounter, which is a significantly higher number. We're looking at like CR 10 or 11, where we might have to just run away.
Jeez. Yeah, that's a rough way.
But that is kind of the plan with our bits. So everything that we're doing, we're getting set up, is so that you guys can have more involvement in our game and what we are doing. So be on the lookout for those. Weston, do you want to talk about our subscription goal and what we're going to do when we hit it?
Yes. So we, being an affiliate now, you can not only follow, but you can also subscribe to the channel. That is just starting as of yesterday. So we are going to push those first 10 subscribers. All you who have been following us for a while, who are here, please subscribe. You just click below. There's a discount. So it's cheaper than it generally is. And when we hit 10 subscribers, we are going to do a special stream for those subscribers. And it is going to be a watch party.
Yes.
So watch parties are a really cool thing that you can do, where you can watch a movie together with your with the people you stream with and enjoy the experience together. We've picked 2 films for you to choose from. We will be doing a poll a little later during the break.
So stick around during the break. We're going to be doing the poll.
Yes. So the 2 movies, just so you know, one is Dragon Slayer from 1981. It is a classic. I watched it a ton as a younger kid.
Yep.
Haley's never seen it.
I have not. I have not seen it.
She came to her nerddom later, so we can forgive her.
I did come to my nerddom later. It's fine. It's fine.
But the other one is generally not quite our cup of tea, but we're open to it. It's called Dudes and Dragons from 2016. It is a comedic fantasy.
I feel like this is going to be one of those situations where it's like Mystery Science 3000, Theater 3000 or whatever.
Riff Tracks, yeah.
Or Riff Tracks, where I'm just going to make fun of the whole thing, the whole movie, because it's ridiculous.
So you all can decide which you'd like to watch. Haley reacting to a classic of the fantasy genre, or Haley and Weston ripping into a interesting comedic experience.
Like purposefully made horrible movie.
I don't think they made it to make a horrible movie, but not a serious movie.
Not even. I don't think they even.
Say that.
They didn't even. I don't think they even tried. Let's be totally honest.
Oh, come on, it's got James Marsters in it.
I know it has James Marsters in it. I love James Marsters. It's true.
It's Spike in Dresden. Come on.
It's Spike in Dresden. What are you talking about?
He's the audiobook reader for Dresden Files.
Oh, that's what you meant. I thought you were talking about the actor from the TV show Dresden was in it, and I was like, I don't remember seeing him in the trailer.
We won't discuss that.
Okay. We don't talk about that show.
Nope.
In case you were wondering.
So yeah.
Sorry. My phone is like messing things up. I'm not even gonna try. I was gonna try and get out on the Discords and stuff that we're live right now, but it's my phone is not working correctly, or my fingers are stupid, one or the other. So that's not happening tonight.
So yeah, so that's as usual. We'll have more podcast episodes coming out later this week.
Yep, and we are doing our 50 follower giveaway after the break.
Yes.
So stay to the break for the poll, and then stay after the break for the giveaway. We are going to be giving away 4 of these beautiful D20 coasters. Yep. These are handmade by me, and they're 100% bamboo. They are finished really well with a satin smooth finish, and they are absolutely wonderful to have on your game table because they're really big. Like this is my hand, this is the coaster. They're very large, so they will hold your beer steins or your massive, ridiculous thermoses. Show them our beer stein.
We got a stein here that fits just fine on that.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So feel free to hang out and see who wins. Anyone who has followed the stream, even up to the break, you can get in on this giveaway. Yep. So we didn't stop it at 50. It's just like whoever is in here when we are done, we are going to get there. So any other announcements? Podcast. Our podcast is up on all of the audio networks, all of the podcasting platforms. So go there if you would like to listen to any previous episodes or our recap, which is also on there for episodes 1 through 10. We are trying really hard to get the episodes out on Fridays. We've gone back and forth on that schedule, but Fridays, so every Friday, so we'll stream on Tuesday and then have the podcast episode up and out on Friday, as well as our VOD on YouTube. You guys, this is going to be awesome. All right, I don't think there's anything else.
I don't think so.
We have a charity that we're doing donations for if you want to go below, and you can donate to them. They're awesome. You can read about our story with them.
Please do. Our son is on the autism spectrum, and we got into playing tabletop RPGs to give him a chance to role play life scenarios that he has a hard time with. And so they've been awesome with us. It's helped us with school, with benefits and things like that. Yep. So please donate. It's below. They're a great organization.
Below.
So cool. You got a couple assignments below. Subscribe. Below, donate, and then make sure you use your channel points to give us some hero points tonight.
Yay!
I want some rerolls.
Yeah, and as the GM, I can legitimately say you're probably gonna need it.
Yeah.
All right, I think
making me nervous.
I think we are ready to go.
All right. Well, if we're ready to go,
I think we're ready to go.
Let's start into tonight's episode of Party of Two. us away, GM. We're good, right?
Yeah, we're good. We're live?
Yes, we're live.
We're live. We're live.
I've been waiting
Oh
for
my
you.
gosh. He's like looking at me and not telling me that we're live. He's just giving me the we're live eyes. Last time on Party of Two, Andoriana and Az were kind of put in an interesting situation with Farmer Magdalene. They had rescued her from a home in the middle of the forest and met a woman named Alea. And we're told that there was a problem in Kintargo. There was a leadership member of the Bellflower Network that had gone missing. So Az and Andoriana confronted Farmer Magdalene over dinner that following evening to discuss with her what was actually going on. And it was revealed that there is an underground network that Tara, which is the name of the woman that was missing, has been investigating and trying to figure out if they are behind some of the missing individuals from the Bellflower Network all over the Chilaxian region. At the end of the evening, they decided they would be going to Kintargo to find out what was going on. Last time it was also revealed a little bit of Anna's backstory, learning that she is searching for her missing sister named Sia, who was taken from her at the tender age of 10, and she has been looking for her ever since. Her parents were murdered, and it's the only family she has left. So, Az, you've had a night's rest. Andoriana went in.
There's something I'd like to do before the night of sleep.
Okay, yeah.
If at all possible.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we've just gone in after talking. We're with Farmer Magdalene, correct?
Yeah.
Before we head off to beds, Az is gonna go over and get Andoriana real quick.
Okay.
Anna,
Yes.
that dog that you had the other day.
Yes, and she reaches into her kind of knapsack and pulls out the statue of Bruce.
Now, why didn't we not use him the other day?
I can only utilize him once a week for 6 hours.
May I see?
Yeah, of course. And she hands it over.
I'm going to do some study of this. See if I can maybe make him hear a little more.
Really?
I will have to see. Can I take him for a
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you could make it that he's here all the time, that would be wonderful.
Well,
He's a very good little dog. Well, he's not little. He's a Conecoso. They're very big.
Yeah. I do not know what that means, but yes, he is big dog. I will. Thank you. I will give it back.
Okay.
Soon.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And so Az is gonna take it, and he's gonna begin kind of studying and doing studying the arcane nature of this magical object.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll definitely study it long into the night.
Okay. Are you wanting to get a full rest for the night?
Yeah, he's not going to stay up.
He's not going to
late.
stay up super late.
No,
Okay.
not super late.
Okay.
But definitely going to give a good study of the object.
All right, cool. So you wake up in the morning then. Mm-hmm. You have Andoriana's little dog statue. And Farmer Magdalene is already awake and what seems to be prepping in the kitchen for this fairly long journey that's going to happen. And as you lay there in your little spot, are you by the door again?
Yeah.
Okay. You hear the very distinct sound of rain coming down the ceiling, or not the ceiling, coming down and hitting the roof. It's not hard, So it's not like this is pelting, but you can
a light
hear
drizzle.
the light pitter-patter of rain coming down.
Okay.
And Farmer Magdalene walks through the entryway of the kitchen and sees that you're awake and says, well, good morning, Sunshine. How are you?
Yeah. He wipes his eyes, a little tired, just barely got enough sleep for the full rest.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, it's good morning.
Good morning. You heard the rain.
Yes.
This is going to make this travel a little bit more difficult. So if you have any more weatherproofed attire, and she kind of looks at you with a doubtful expression.
Wunderbar. Well, there is something that I can do.
Yeah.
That might help.
Okay. Wonderful. Whatever you can do whatever you can do. That's what we're going to need.
So Az is going to sit down. He sits down, kind of like an Indian style meditation type, and then he is going to touch, just kind of run his hands along himself, and he's going to say, Nethys, god of magic, help me resist this cold. And I'll cast Endure Elements, which allows me to have a resistance to cold or hot.
All right.
For the whole day until my next rest.
Nice.
So that should, I'll be wet, but I won't be cold.
Okay. That's good. So Farmer Magdalene watches you do this, and she says, oh, that's pretty handy, isn't it?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I have not needed to use it much in my life previously.
I can imagine not. Even though you were a slave, it sounds like you did live a life of a modicum of luxury.
A gilded cage.
As it were.
Yes.
Of course. And she turns around and she, as she walks by, she smacks the door to Endoriana's and she shouts out, "Get up, sleepyhead!" And then she continues walking down the hall and opens the door to the halflings. And she is slightly more delicate with the halflings than she is with Anna. So you can hear the slight murmur of conversation of her in the back room with the other three, and then Anna comes out, and she's rubbing her eyes, and it's kind of like, oh my gosh, good morning. And she looks at you, and
Good morning.
she kind of looks around and says, wait. What did you just say?
Good morning?
No, you said it in a different language. What did you say?
No, I said good morning.
Oh. I thought you said something. I'm sorry. Head is weird. Life is weird right now.
Tired?
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm extremely tired this morning. And she kind of stumbles around into the kitchen and to get some food. Basically the way I am in the mornings.
Okay, but as she's doing this, can I roll an Arcana check just to see how I did looking, in investigating the statue that night before?
Yes, please.
3.
You're going to need a little bit more time with it to figure out kind of the way it works and how things go. Do you want to have this be a reoccurring through the next couple of days?
Probably. With that roll, probably.
Okay.
So he's going to pull it out and hold it up. Anna.
Yes. And you see her turn around and she has like stuff like kind of coming out of her mouth a little bit. And she's like, whoa.
little chubby bunny going on there.
Yep.
I do think that I think I can bring him out more. It will take me probably a couple of days.
And she kind of, wait, what? You really think I seriously didn't think you were being serious. You really think you can make him, like, be here all the time?
Yeah, it is possible. This item brings him from the astral plane and makes him corporeal. And so if I can attune it more directly to you, then it could continue.
Well, that would be brilliant. I would absolutely love that. And that would give us somebody else to be with us as we're doing tracking. And
yeah, since we neither of us are very skilled with that.
Well, I'm not horrible at tracking. I'm just not good at it. There's a difference.
And you prefer I do not connect with my ancestral spirits.
No, okay. Look,
that.
I would like to explain. It's not that I don't like it, because it does actually give us a lot of things. However, it's just very strange. You've never experienced it from my side. You're you for a second, and then in the next second, you're not you anymore. And it's very weird.
This is true.
Right, okay. So Farmer Magdalene comes back down the hall. The 3 halflings are with her, and they are all ready to go. None of you really had anything when you left Citadel Infrax, so there's not a lot of things left. But Farmer Magdalene goes into a large cabinet, the cabinet or cupboard that you guys had seen that first day. Not cabinet or cupboard, a closet.
There we go.
That you had seen that first day when you had come in, and
They
she
all
had
open.
pulled. They open. It's fine. But it's where she pulled out the staff that she had given you previously, and she has 3 halfling-sized cloaks that she kind of hands out to Tip, Steve, and Brennan, and says, "Okay, so these are not weatherproof; they're water resistant." And this is the moment that Anna realizes it's raining. She's like, "Oh, shice. Are you serious? It's rain. Can we leave tomorrow? Would that be fine if we left tomorrow?" And Farmer Magdalene just gives her this look like, "Are you kidding me? No, we're not leaving tomorrow." And Anna kind of backs down a little bit. And like her age in this moment for the first time, kind of since you've not even met her, but since you guys left Citadel Infract and she had to be like the sword mistress, her age is showing. She is a teenager. But she kind of pipes down, and you see a visible change on her of being calm and more like open. Her openness, it all buttons down. Everything. And it's like she suddenly realizes that, right, we're still on a mission. It's not playtime. This is not time to get to know each other. We're still focused. And so you see that physical change happen, and so does Farmer Magdalene, and she kind of just nods her head like, "That's better." And she says, "So we'll be leaving very shortly. Since it is raining outside, it is going to take longer for us on this first leg. I was hoping that we could get to Canopy in a day if we pushed it, a day and a half, but with the rain, it might take longer. So just be strapped in." And she grabs like 72-hour kits, like the equivalent of those, and hands them to each of you. And you see that there is a huge stash of them in this closet, because they're used to people coming and then going on to Canopy here. And so they constantly are restocking this, which is one of the reasons why Tara being missing and not sending word is such a big deal, because she was one of the main people that kept all of the safe houses along the route stocked.
That makes sense.
So she pulls those out and she hands them to each of you, and she says, "This is enough rations and emergency supplies for the next 2 days. Well, 3. If you ration everything. If you ration the rations, it's about 3 days." So, but by that time we'll be at Canopy, and we'll be able to sleep at the 3 Crowns, and it shouldn't be a problem.
This Canopy, it is a small town?
It's a mid-sized town. And she does. She goes and finds it on the map so that you can see it. And it's just from where you are currently, it follows the river, and it's like that first main river junction. It's a kind of like a teeny little river city, right, or village right next to the main river that comes through the Revenel Forest.
All right.
So, do we think we might be ready to go? And you can see she is extremely anxious to get out. So if there's anything that you need to do, any spells you need to prepare, anything.
I take a little bit of time to prepare some spells along with endure elements. I will also, and I'll let everyone know that they will need to stay, if everyone will stand around me, I can help make this a little better.
Okay.
Because what I can do is I can cast Show the Way. It's a 5-foot emanation, so it just gets everyone just right next to me. And everyone then isn't slowed by difficult terrain as intensely.
Okay. As intensely as in...
It says traveling through difficult terrain reduces you to only 3/4 your travel speed instead of half.
Okay. Let me do the calculations real quick. Okay, so instead of 20 miles a day, we're going
15,
16.
instead of 10.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So,
all right.
So
also all four of us kind of cluttering close to you. And what is your action when casting the spell?
So see, this takes 10 minutes to cast.
Anna's just gonna stand there very awkwardly, looking at the other halflings.
So as I actually go out, real quick, I grab some dirt from the ground. And then I go along to each of them. I actually get down on my knees and I take along each of their feet around me. I just kind of kneel down and I'm putting it on each of their shoes. And I just say, Nethys, Lord of Magic, make our way straight and clear. As I rub the very dirt of the earth we'll be walking on our feet.
Oh, that's cool. Do we feel anything with this?
Not at the moment. You won't really feel anything at this moment. When you begin to walk on the actual sodden, wet ground, you'll also just notice that you don't sink as deep.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. Well,
kind of like wearing snowshoes suddenly or something like that.
Okay.
All this mud to where you're able to walk along the top and not get stuck as bad.
Snowshoes.
Yes, they are.
I like it. Okay, so Anna kind of bounces on the balls of her feet real quick just to see if there's any difference, and there is none. So she's like, okay, great. We'll see how this actually works. And Farmer Magdalene does a really quick sweep of the house. And you see as she's moving along, she's locking every cabinet, every door. Everything is being buttoned down. She knows most likely this is the last time they're ever going to use this house. Cheliax is no longer a viable option to get people out of... Or not Cheliax, sorry. Citadel and Farak is no longer a viable option to get everybody out of Cheliax. So...
its proximity to there isn't really helpful at this point.
No. And as she goes to the door, she kind of takes a breath. And I want you to roll a perception check for me.
Rolled a 2. So that's a 14.
All right, so you see that...
Come on, people on chat, you need to buy those hero points.
Nope, shush. Stop trying to bribe the chat into giving you what you want. Well, I guess it's not bribing, it's just asking, but still. So you see that she's visibly upset. Like, she, not like overtly emotional, but she's a little hesitant to leave. So she opens the door and stands perfectly still. And in front of her, is something you did not expect, nor did you ever think there was a possibility of. And she just shakes her head and she says, that damn woman. And she walks down the stairs, and now as she moves and you guys all kind of come out, not like, I mean, she's a halfling, you could have, but you guys were not quite yet in the doorway. As you move into the doorway, you see sitting there waiting for you is a beautiful Clydesdale workhorse.
Whoa.
With a very large cart behind it, all tethered and hooked up, ready to go. And sitting on the chair kind of like seating area that the driver of the cart would be is a note. Are you okay? Do you need a minute?
I got some peppermint oil in my eye.
Oh no! If you have never gotten peppermint in your eyes, you guys, that's the worst thing ever.
Burns, it burns.
It really does burn. It's kind of awful.
Okay, I'll be all right.
All right, so we'll keep moving. So as Farmer Magdalene goes up to the cart, she reaches out and she grabs the note and flips it open, and she reads it pretty quickly, just shaking her head, but with a smile on her face.
Mm-hmm. That knowing look.
That knowing look of of course, of freaking course, she did that. And she folds it back up, puts it in the envelope again, and kind of just slides it in her pocket and says, well, I guess we're not going on foot. So everybody get in the back of the cart. I'm going to drive this beast, I guess. And she looks at both you and Anna, and she says, unless either of you have better work with animals, do either of you guys have animal handling, or if you like horses, or because she's and Farmer Magdalene's like, wait, really?
Yeah, often I had to help with the lab animals.
Oh, okay. Then you be in charge of the horse, and she had a relief. She's like, whew, okay, you be in charge of the horse, and I will take care of anything else.
So Az is gonna walk up around to the horse, and as anyone comes down into the mud, then they'll notice that their feet don't slide.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So they're gonna walk in. They are gonna walk down, and the horse is extremely calm. And Anna, not having ever seen a workhorse this size before, because this is a true Clydesdale.
Yeah, the Cyril and Frack wouldn't have many war horses.
No, they wouldn't have war horses.
They don't have cavalry.
No, well, Clydesdales aren't war horses necessarily. They're actually workhorses.
Hi, Reaper.
So, actual workhorses like that, you wouldn't see. The massive, huge Clydesdales, you wouldn't see unless you were out in the farms, honestly. Yep. So she comes up, and she is just enamored with this horse. She reaches out and she touches its flank, and its shoulder probably goes to about the top of her head. Yeah, and she's 5'9". So it's a massive horse.
So I'm gonna walk up to the horse, put my hand on its flank, and then just kind of slide the hand up gently.
Are you on the other side of the horse?
From where Anna would be?
From where Anna is? Okay. I'm because we were about to have a really intimate moment really quick if you didn't move.
And walk around to its face, talk softly to it. So I'll do a nature, because you use nature apparently for animal handling.
Yeah, you do.
So
give me a nature check. Whoa! I will let you roll that again if you would like to.
No, it's a 15.
Okay, so because it did a funny bounce.
That's a 25.
25. Okay.
I got a 10 in nature. I mean, yeah.
And so that's untrained, right?
No, that's trained.
No, that is trained. Okay.
I am trained in nature.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I've
All
got
right,
7
so-
proficiency and 3 in wisdom.
Nice. I like it. So you get up to the nose and you feel the velvety soft of that center of the nose, and the horse kind of into you and like checking you out, and you kind of just stand there for a minute and let the horse get comfortable with your smell. And you can tell when he is comfortable because he kind of lowers his head just a little bit to you.
Infrak had, and the area was known for apples. And so he turns to Lady Magdalene, farmer. Do we have any apples in this store?
Actually, yeah, we do. And she turns around. She actually goes back inside, and you have to wait a couple of minutes because she had locked everything. And she comes back out a few minutes later with 3 apples from the store of apples that they do have, and they are starting to they're getting soft, and she says, these ones will work. I mean, I didn't really know what to do with the produce anyway, so this works. So she has the apples that they'd had, and she gives them to you and steps away very quickly
Compared
from
to a
the
halfling,
giant
this
horse.
thing is gigantic.
Yeah.
And so I am going to feed the horse an apple. Just hold it up,
I was about to say, out of GM curiosity, do you know how to feed a horse?
Put
an
it up
apple?
in a flat hand.
Okay,
Keep your
good.
fingers away from there. It'll
From
chomp
the
'em.
chomper teeth.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, and the horse takes it very, very quickly, very gladly, and kind of roots at you for a second because he knows. He can smell them.
Yeah, he knows.
The other horses or the other apples that are there.
So I'll put the other ones in
I was
my
like, do you
coat
wanna
and
give
kind
the
of
rest of 'em?
move to the side of him. I'll let him have one for the moment.
All right, cool. And then Anna just is like, she is like wants to be near this horse. She's like seriously in love with this horse already.
Are you going to walk beside him?
No, I'm not going to walk beside him. But can I sit up in the
front
on the seats
Yeah.
with you?
Yeah.
Because I want to watch it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. There is room.
Yes.
Look up. Is there room for 2
Yes,
on the
there's
front?
room for 2. It's a
There's
very
room
large
for
cart.
For 2.
Okay.
And I think that Lady Magdalene would prefer to be in the back.
I have a feeling that is the truth as well. And you turn and you can see all of the halflings are kind of like already like half up into the back of the cart. They're like ready to go. And Farmer Magdalene is very happy to be far away from the horse. So Anna does the same thing that you had done. She watched you as you did what you did. And so she walks around the front, and her arm doesn't reach all the way up to the top of his head to do the whole rub down the front of the nose. But she is able to kind of just touch him, and she leans her forehead into him a little bit and just stands there for a second. And once this is done and the horse realizes she does not have any apples, he kind of like chuffs back a little bit and is like, okay, what are we doing? What's happening here? Please move forward.
So that was Anna, and it pulled back.
It pulled back away from Anna.
So I walk up to Anna and kind of walk behind her. And then I'm just going to place in her hand one of the apples and then walk around the other side of the horse.
You're not going to instruct her on how to give it to him?
I imagine she watched me.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll mention to you. Put your hand out flat. He will bite your fingers if not. And those are big teeth.
Like off?
Yeah.
Like totally off?
Flat. As
okay.
as your hand can go.
All right. So she puts the apple in her hand, and she lifts it up like this to the horse. And knowing now that it has the propensity to bite fingers, she's a little nervous. Yeah. But he sniffs for a millisecond and eats it really quickly, and then lowers his head slightly, and his nose just he bumps his nose up against Anna's, surprisingly enough, against her horns, both of them.
Interesting.
And then he does the same thing he did a moment before. He lifts his head up, kind of with his paws, like, can we please get going?
There you go.
I mean, it's raining and everybody's wet at this point anyway.
Let us be off. So I'm going to climb up into the front. I imagine you aren't going to make me do an acrobatics check to see if I can climb up into...
There are stairs.
Right,
like,
cool.
it's one of those larger ones that if you've ever seen, like...
I guess climbing is an athletics check instead.
It would... Yeah, climbing would be an athletics check. But it's like one of those large, older carts that, like, is used for, like, hay bales and stuff like that in, like, the early 1900s. There's steps there. It's fine.
So he's going to get up in the front, grab the reins. So they get up
and... grab the reins, and
then he,
at your leave.
Well, let us be off. Yeah. Does a quick little flick.
And that's when you realize you have no idea where you're going. Farmer Magdalene comes up and says, so are we just going to walk around the meadow for a while? Like, what's going on?
Well, tell me where I am going.
All right. And she's totally playing with you.
I can try.
She's totally playing with you.
Lead him, but I need to have directions.
So she kind of climbs up the slats. So we are going to follow the river.
Okay, yeah,
and
I see that.
So she points across the meadow to an area that just looks like trees.
Gotcha.
And she's kind of like, just go right there. And Anna looks at her and is like, Magdalene, I don't know if you've noticed, there's no opening over there. It is literally a wall of trees. And Farmer Magdalene says, yes, Anna, I know. Please go that direction. And Anna's kind of like, okay, whatever. It's a the copse of trees. I don't know what your problem is.
The show the way actually would help everyone in being able to see the path ahead.
Okay, that's great.
So
you still can't see anything.
We shouldn't have we can't see anything.
Well, it's just trees.
I can't see a path anywhere, a way to be through.
No. Unless this circumvents hidden paths.
Your decision.
I'm going with no. This cannot circumvent hidden paths. So as you guys get closer and closer to the trees, Anna's getting more and more like annoyed, and then suddenly like worried. Like maybe there isn't just worried. Like, what is going on? What is happening right now?
As Moose is going forward, no concern.
Make a perception check for me.
Where she says, that is a natural one.
You can't see nothing. You see a wall of trees, and the rain is coming down, and you feel the wood underneath your feet.
I would like to remind our viewers that they can use their channel points to purchase hero points.
Okay,
that's
you
my
guys,
second lowest roll.
I don't think he is going to stop. So someone, for the love of all that is holy, buy him a freaking hero point. But they can't. They can't even buy hero points, because even if they follow, they only had 300 points, and you have to 50 points every 15 minutes. So you have to wait. You have to wait. Yes, you have to wait. I'm the GM. I'm telling you, you have to wait.
Yeah.
So Farmer Magdalene says, "Okay, whoa, stop right here." And you've gotten really, really close to the wall of trees.
Yeah.
And she hops off and comes around the side of the cart, making a very wide berth around the horse, and grabs what looks like a firmly planted tree. And as soon as she touches it, there's this shimmer. And the tree that looked firmly planted before is suddenly not planted in the ground anymore and is about half the size. And so she grabs it and she kind of chucks it a little bit, like she just kind of throws it. And with her being as small as she is, this is a little difficult, and you can kind of tell. Would you like to go assist her?
Actually, Az will look over to Anna and say, would you go help?
She just kind of gives you a look. Of course, I'll help. And she gets off the cart really quick, and she goes down. And as Anna grabs the trees, there isn't just a visual aspect to this illusion. There's also a physical aspect of the illusion. So when she goes to touch it, the physical feeling of moving through that illusion of the larger branch leaves tingles and like when your hand falls asleep, like pins and needles. It goes up, kind of goes up her hands just a little bit as she passes through the illusion to grab the actual physical object. So she kind of helps Farmer Magdalene. In just a couple of minutes, the trees are now completely cleared out, and what is before was just another faceless part of the meadow is an opening with the canopy that kind of covers straight in, so it could not be seen from above either.
Az yells out, "This is more from your friend in the woods?"
Magdalene just kind of nods and is like, "Yeah, she's done a lot for the farm or for the Bellflower Network, more than anyone else, honestly."
As he says this and thinks of her again, he's going to take a look around him at the cart. Like, is he sensing the same type of beauty of design in this cart that he saw in her house? Or is it more of just a utilitarian?
It's utilitarian. There are hints. Actually, no, give me a perfection test.
A crafting check?
Yes.
It's 30.
Was that a natural 20?
There's an 18 and I have a 12.
Oh my gosh.
Because I am an expert in 30. Crafting.
Cool.
I can build some
all right then. That's true. I forget that you have that skill. Yes, really high skill. So you, as you're looking at the cart, where normally it would be rough, it is smooth. Normally where the heads of a nail would be either indented in from the hammer or would be poking out from a lack of strength, it is all one plane, all the way across. In fact, you cannot see any
joints
nails
or connections or what's
you can
holding
see
it
joints, but there are no nails. There's nothing that was like physically impacting on this wood. So while it's not overly ostentatious like the home was, it is very, very well made.
I am going to need to spend some more time with that woman and understand her methods.
What do you mean? Anna's back in the cart now, and Farmer Magdalene went around to the back and just said, "Go ahead." So we're just kind of trucking down the lane.
Do you see any nails in this cart?
No.
Yeah.
Is that strange?
Very. It is of exquisite make, though simple. As a craftsman myself, I admire the work.
And Anna reaches down and
knocks on it. Az looks over at her, just like...
She's like, well, it feels like it's made out of normal wood, so I don't think it's magical wood.
Is Farmer Magdalene back in the cart?
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are now down.
All right, so he's gonna move forward, start heading on, just shakes his hands like, oh yeah.
All right, as you continue down this path, I would like you to roll a D8 for me.
D8, okay. A 2.
Okay. All right, as you continue in, you're now underneath the canopy. So, and this is a canopy that was very obviously of magical make, that is completely stitched together. There's no way that anything from above would be able to see. And as you give me a perception check.
Ooh, 16
Nice,
plus
okay.
12, so that's a 28.
So as you turn and look backwards on where you have been, you see that the farther you go down this trail, because it's barely wide enough to fit the cart, almost like Alea knew how wide the path
Or
was.
made the cart to match.
Or made the cart. It gets more and more difficult to see the back. And it's almost like the trees are coming back together.
Enfolding us.
Almost. It's
through.
not like you feel like you could walk back and it would be fine. Like
Or like an air bubble passing through water.
kind of, yeah. Like it's like you know that you could go back and it would be fine, but as you watch, it's just this beautiful display of magics. And whether that be arcane or divine or illusionary, it's just beautiful. Regardless. So you continue forward on this. And Anna has been very quiet through this whole thing at this point now. As like from when you got in and you asked about the workmanship and you've moved forward. Actually, everybody's been pretty quiet. Every once in a while you hear a little murmuring from the cart from Magdalene or Tip, or there's this quiet talking back there, but there's no boisterous anything. It's just this calm movement through the trees. Okay. I would like you to make, we're doing a lot of perception right now. But I don't have anything else that this would work for. So
That's all right. I'm going to be looking around.
I would, so please make a perception check, and Anna I'm going to have Anna make one as well.
All right, or is it, it's not survival.
No.
Okay.
No.
That is another 16.
Nice. Jeez, you are killing it.
I got
You're
my
either
bad
doing
rolls.
1s or 16s.
Yeah, I know. I'll take the high rolls.
I like it. Take the high rolls. See? Reaper only has 300 points. Don't give me that crap.
You'll get more, Reaper. Just keep watching.
As you go through the forest, at this point it's been maybe an hour and a half. You're like moving through. You begin to hear something that's almost not perceivable.
Okay.
It's more of a feeling than it is a hearing. It is it's like that sixth sense kind of thing.
Okay.
And no, it's not that you're seeing dead people. It's that
or Bruce Willis.
or Bruce Willis. Both would be good, but you are getting this extrasensory perception of movement on either side of the path. And it's not unsettling yet, but it's just this overall sense of that there are things moving unseen through the trees.
As sensing this is going to kind of just tap Anna, because I imagine Anna, she's right next to me.
She's going to startle a little bit and like, oh, yes?
I think we are being scouted.
What do you mean? And she immediately goes into like sentry mode, and she grabs at her sword really quick with her hand, and she's just down right there.
He puts his hand on her sword, on her, hand.
Mm-hmm.
We do not know if they are enemy or if they are just curious. Keep an eye out.
Wait. You said they. Like they, as in like the fae they? Or like a creature that's going to come out and eat us? Or
a deer.
Oh. Okay,
I
that's
do
slightly
not
more
know.
mundane.
Please keep an eye out and watch if you see movement around us. And then as I'm going to start casting Detect Magic, kind of as we go, to see if I sense any magical creature it might be. Like if it was a fae or something like that, I might be able to sense with Detect Magic if it pinged in my sonar suddenly.
Okay. Let me know whenever you want to do that.
I'm just going to be doing it kind of constantly as an explore action.
Okay. As you're doing it, so let's say over the next, this feeling doesn't go away. So over the next few,
half hour or so.
like few hours, honestly, it's this magical, you do get a magical sense, but it's like it weaves in and out.
So it's pinging and then going away, pinging and then going away.
Yeah, and it's coming from both sides. And sometimes it comes significantly closer because you can kind of sense location of it, correct?
No, I just sense if it's there.
Okay, what's the radius of it?
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, yeah. So it's like a dolphin jumping the waves. It's going in and out of your perception bubble.
Yeah.
But as it continues, the sense of comfort, not comfort, the sense of, I guess, kind of calmness about it.
Because I can do do that, and then the moment it comes into that range, I can use Read Aura at 30 feet to try and get something on it. In that moment it comes in, all I would be able to know is if it's magical and if it is some type of spell thing, the School of Magic, that it's magic it gives off.
Okay.
That's all it gives me.
Okay, so on the next time that you feel it come in, which is probably 15, 20 minutes later, it moves in and you hear...
Maybe not, because I have to focus on the object, and if I can't see...
if you can't see it,
if it doesn't tell me exactly where it is, then
yeah.
I guess I can't do that.
Yep, that's true. So you can't do that, but you get that sense. But over time...
Something's coming and then walking away.
Yeah, over time, this begins to be unsettling. Unsettling. And the sense of... not nonchalance, but the fact that you weren't on high alert yet, that begins to disappear.
Yeah.
The longer this happens. And we're going on being on the road now at 2.5, 3 hours. And
I just keep feeling this enter
this is
and then leave.
Constant. It's not, it's pretty consistent, like every 15 to 20 minutes.
I turned to Anna. There is something that has magic. A creature of some type, possibly, that is coming close and then leaving. And I maybe more than one. Do you see anything?
Anna kind of turns and just peers out into the forest for maybe 15 minutes or so, saying nothing. It's a 21. While she doesn't see anything, she's able to, right before you get a ping, she sees like a shimmering kind of something. It's like those old CG movies where they're like taking Mortal Kombat with the lizardy thing.
Oh yeah.
Like kind of like that. So she sees like a displacement in vision.
Okay.
And so she says there, and then a second later you feel the
I feel that there's magic.
There's magic. And she leans over to you and she says, I don't know if it's one or if it's multiple or whatnot, but it's obviously invisible. At least at the moment. It has been the whole time that it's been following us. Do you think we should try and encourage it to come out?
They have not shown themselves to be hostile yet. Wait until we sense it again. Tell me if you see the next time you see something, and I'll also be still using my magic. And the next time that it comes in range, or we think we know where it's at, I want to cast message, because I can cast that at 120 feet at one creature that I know is there. And all Az is going to say is, we do not mean harm, we are just passing through.
Okay. So the next time that
we
happens,
think we see this shimmer or something like that, I will focus on that spot and then cast message and send that message.
Okay. No, I won't make you roll for that one.
They can
respond.
respond.
Okay. As long as they have
if they
language.
choose to, it'll have language, yeah.
Okay. Does it have to be a specific language?
Nope.
Or
no, it says that transfers directly to the ears of the target, so it's not even telepathy. It goes to their ears.
Okay.
And the target can give a brief response as a reaction. That's all it says.
Okay. All right, so it's another 20 minutes or so, again, like on the clock with this. And now at this point, Farmer Magdalene, I'm assuming you have clued Farmer Magdalene on what's going on. And everyone is like silent. The only sound we're hearing is the clip-clop, of the horse.
I mean, with what I've seen so far, its behavior, would I be able to use Arcana, Occultism, or Society to try and guess a creature on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know which one of those it would be, but they're all 10s, and that's an 18 on the roll.
Okay.
So it's a 28.
You don't... What kind of check are you specific? Are you specifically wanting to look for like
a recall knowledge?
Okay.
Do I know of any type of creature that this might be?
Okay. You know the sense of this creature is very, very close to a fae-like creature that you have heard of. Like a siren.
Okay.
But the energy is not the same. So it's like the feel of the magic would be the same as what you've heard of with sirens, but the energy is very different. It's not evil and hostile, and we're not in the water. So that's the other thing. We're not in the water.
In the woods, I would probably assume some type of, oh gosh, what are those called? Nymphs? Or a wood nymph or something along those lines.
Spirit.
I'm not feeling, even though I'm feeling anxious because I know we're being guided. You know, I'm not feeling an ominous feeling from this.
Okay.
So I would say to Anna, they do not appear to be hostile, so I say we continue.
I mean, I kind of saw it that one time. I might be able to go after it and grab it.
Generally, creatures that are camouflage are not necessarily predators. They generally prefer to hide.
That's true.
So my thought is that they are curious and will watch.
All right. Well,
and so he just kind of focuses on getting down the path ahead. And
so do you think, should I just ignore it then? Or do you think I mean...
For the moment, yeah.
Okay. All right. And just a moment later, there's kind of the ping. Do you want to do sending?
Yeah, so I'll send that message.
Okay.
That I said before, towards like, we are not here to do harm? We are just passing through.
There's no response for a few seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Long enough, it's like 1 second, 2 seconds. Long enough that you think there isn't going to be a response at all. And then suddenly you get this wave of emotion.
Okay.
And it's curious. And it's childlike. And almost giddy as well. And this time, instead of it floating back out, you now feel it steady.
It's. I'm gonna look and see if I can see it.
Okay.
Perception.
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
Should have taken see invisibility. 22.
22. Okay. You'd get the same thing that Anna had, which is kind of this displacement of light in that one area, but you're not able to actually really see the shape of the creature other than it's a humanoid.
Okay.
As well. So Anna is not going to take your advice, and she is not ignoring this. And she's very...
Yeah, I could have taken see invisibility.
Ah, dang.
It's a second level spell. I could have had it, but...
Too bad. It's so sad. She is on edge. She does not feel the same level of chill that you feel with all of this. And her hand is on her sword. And she is like 2 seconds away from running into the forest to go and figure out what the heck this thing is.
And puts his hand on her. They are not enemies.
How do you know?
They communicated in their way.
How?
And then he's going to cast something real quick and she'll have it say in her head, in her ears, you know how.
Right, Kate, so here's the thing. I don't do that, so I don't think about it. She just sits back.
We have spent
She's like,
enough
okay, so
time
what?
around each other.
We have spent a total of like 3 days together.
Is that really all it's been?
Yes. So don't act. And she's like, goes from like kind of annoyed to like genuinely upset with you.
No, it's got to be
like,
more than 3 days at this point.
1, 2.
We had the time before the council meeting, though.
3, 4. It's been 4 days.
And then we had the time we worked together before the council meeting.
4 days.
Jeez.
It's been 4 days.
All right. Wow. Okay.
So she goes from like slightly annoyed to like genuinely frustrated with you. I'm just like, look, this is not normal for me. Give me a creature and I will attack it. Give me anything other than all of this magic bullshit I don't understand.
We don't need to attack anything right now.
And instantly you get this wave of like angry emotion coming like through you and directed straight at Anna.
Anna, you need to calm down.
Why do I need to calm down?
Anna, they are getting agitated.
Well, then great. Maybe they'll come out and I can punch them. I've been following us this whole time without actually coming out and actually saying anything.
They most likely do not speak with words.
And how would you know this, great Houdini?
They have been communicating in their way.
You have said that twice now. What the hell does that mean?
You feel it. It is a feeling more than words.
So we are betting our lives on your feelings.
If they attack, you still have your sword.
And you can feel that agitation is kind of starting to boil a little bit. That energy that's coming through you.
Can I do a diplomacy check to try and calm her down?
Yes.
All right, come on. Go for the roll. 4. But plus 11, which is still a 15.
Oh, that barely makes the DC for that. Okay, so what are you going to say to her to get her to calm down?
Anna, These are... You have not spent much time in the woods. Neither have I. It is normal to be uneasy in a foreign place. He turns back to Lady Magdalene. Farmer, can you come up here?
And Farmer Magdalene turns around and she's kind of like, yep, I can hear exactly what you guys are saying.
You have spent much more time here in the area, in these woods.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to worry?
I admit this is a little unusual. We don't normally get followed. But you'd think, I mean, they've been following us for a while now. If they had any ill intent, they probably would have attacked.
We are... She knows the area. We should trust her.
And you can see Anna is just kind of boiling right now.
Didn't take calm emotions either.
All these spells you didn't take.
Ugh.
And I mean, like, her foot is bouncing a little bit, and her teeth are clenched, and her hand is like affixed to her sword. However, she does lean back slightly in her seat and says, look, I get that this is a new place. It's foreign. It's whatever. It's all whatever you just said. However, I just left everything I've ever known and the only protection I've ever known. And I'm having to rely on people I barely know for my own safety. Whatever message you just got or whatever. And through this talk, she's coming back down. It's fine and dandy for you. But I didn't feel anything. I didn't have any communication. And now you're telling me to basically shut up and trust you.
You trusted me in the Citadel. You trusted me in the caverns.
I know. And look where it got me. In a cart with a horse in the middle of the forest.
Away
being
from the Hell
followed
Knights,
by fairies.
away from the Hell Knights where you never wanted to be.
I know I was kidding.
Would you like to drive?
Probably be a good idea. Besides, we should probably give the horse a break for a minute. And she turns around and looks at Farmer Magdalene. She says, break time? Yes. And Farmer Magdalene kind of looks around a little bit and looks up, an instinct to look up and see if she can figure out what time it is. But the canopy is still
closed off.
We're not really able to see, but you can kind of tell it's probably been 5 hours or so since you guys got on the road. So this is a good moment for a stop, and you guys get off the cart and take a little like water break, food break, even though everybody's in a cart and you can eat while you're walking or while the horse is walking. And I would like you to make a animal handling check, please.
All right.
Or a nature check.
Nature check. Well, that's cocked.
I was going to say that kind of looks cocked.
It is. Let me get some of those dice out of the way. Come on.
Okay. I thought the point of
6.
moving the dice out of the way was so that it didn't hit the dice anymore.
Yeah, it's still 16.
Okay, 16. Okay, you're not really sure what you need to do with the horse, but you do know, like, it probably needs water and stuff, so you get your canteen or your water skin, and there is a small bowl, and you kind of fill.
Yeah, is there anything in the cart, like, for the animal?
horse?
She gave us the horse. Is
No.
there anything in there? Okay.
No, there's nothing in there. And this is why. So you put the water in there, and you go to give it to the horse, and it kind of sniffs it for a second, and then kind of does this like head shake thing, and just like stands there.
I want to cast Read Aura on the horse.
Okay.
Do I get magical sense from the horse?
Hells yes, you do.
Okay.
So much magic. Like push you in the face magic.
All right, then. This is a magical horse. Well, I pull out one of the other apples that I had and put my hand flat.
And
let him
immediately,
have an apple.
as opposed to the water, like, poof, right there. Like, wah, I want an apple. And it eats it out of your hand very, very quickly and not like nuzzles you at your neck a little bit. And this is like a down for
Just
it.
don't breathe in my
but
ear.
it starts to kind of sniffle around like
I'm going to take a step back.
to see if it can
he's not getting
find
another
the
apple
other
right now.
apple. But that's the third apple, so you don't have any more apples.
Yeah, I do look up at the rest of the group. Well, we do not need to feed it. Oh,
And Farmer Magdalene's like,
That-
what do you mean?
this is... Well, this is a different type of horse.
What type of horse?
I do not quite know. It is magical of some sort.
Magical horse. Okay, there it is. There it is. All right. So Farmer Magdalene comes around, once again, giving it very wide berth, and comes up to the front of it and just kind of looks up at it and says, do you think it understands... Where is this accent coming from? Do you think it understands speech? Y'all just kind of standing there looking at it.
I am not sure.
Okay. And
So
so she
can I do
says,
an Arcana check on this horse? Like, I try to identify the magical nature of it.
you can, but just like the magic with Alea, you're not going to
It's
be
not
able
gonna
to
be able to get it,
identify it. So Farmer Magdalene says, "Well, let's try something." Yeah.
I want to do a sense motive. I want to do a sense motive on her. It's a 22.
She's being playful.
Is she about
and
to get us in trouble?
She might get you in trouble a little bit, but she's being playful, and like it's kind of like the first time that she's kind of chilled a little bit since you guys started that day. She says, "Horse," and the horse kind of the ears flip right forward to be able to kind of hear her, and she says, "Can you take a step to the left?" And it doesn't move. And she looks at you and she's like, maybe it likes you better. You try.
So horse.
Sir horse.
Yes, so horse. If he understands language, I'm going to be courteous.
Okay.
Would you please take a step forward?
And kind of looks at you for a minute. And then paws at the ground with just one paw. Hoof. Not paw. Hoof.
So he doesn't actually take a step.
And then takes a step forward.
Taking a step to the side with the cart attached to him would be difficult and problematic.
My baby horse heart is very happy that you would know that.
Well,
Just like, okay. So Farmer Magdalene says, wait, okay, so forward. And then she says, horse, can you go back? And he looks at Farmer Magdalene. And in a very horsey expression, there's this sense of like disdain for the little creature. And he takes a step back.
or next does he have peanut butter under his tongue so he starts to talk?
No.
Oh, Wilbur.
No, we are not doing that.
Pulling a Mr.
The
Ed.
horse cannot talk, but it can understand speech.
I don't have
Common.
to communicate with animals.
Common speech. It can understand, which means it understood everything you guys were talking about.
Well, that makes things
A little more
different.
complicated or better?
I would say better.
All right.
If he is this intelligent, this means I really don't need to hold those reins.
Probably not, which means I probably don't need to hold them either.
But
Right.
you want to.
Of course I want to.
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to. And she Anna walks over and kind of does this like rub down of him, and kind of she's definitely lavishing attention on this horse, and he is loving it. Absolutely loving it. All right, so break time over. You guys all get up on the cart. The sense of magic, the sense of being followed has begun to be kind of as a common thing at this point, so you're not as agitated.
I honestly, I stopped doing it eventually. I know
they're there and it's there and whatnot. And so you guys all kind of keep moving, and Anna checks in with you every once in a while though, and it's like, is it still there?
No, at that moment I'll cast it to sense, and I'll let her know.
Yep.
And yeah, they're still there. If they wanted to ambush us, they could have done it when we got off the cart.
That's all very true. And Anna's kind of relaxed a little bit, and a little bit more chilled about the whole thing. Az
is gonna look over. He knows talking tends to help people be calm.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about. I never met your your half-orc companion in the
Stella.
Heights. Yeah.
Well, right. Well,
So,
I may never see her again, so, well.
tell me about her. And so he's going to just kind of keep her talking over the next
There's
while
something.
to kind of give her a chance to focus on something else and kind of calm her nerves by talking that way.
So are you wanting to actually role play the conversation?
he's gonna
just
keep
think he's
her
going to keep talking. Okay.
He's going to find different subjects, different things to ask her about just to keep her
Okay.
more calm that way.
All right. As you get farther and farther in, it's now, 6 hours, 7 hours. You've kind of eaten while you're on the cart, and there's been no need to really take any more breaks. At this point,
let's go with the reins. Let's Anna take them if she wants to.
and Anna definitely does, and she's very like, okay. And she kind of is like super excited about it until she realizes it's literally just holding onto two pieces of rope. And then she kind of is like, this is boring.
Az is going to take out the figurine and continue to study it and feel out the magic and things like that.
Okay, give me an Arcana check.
The same roll. A 2.
You're either rolling
13.
really high or really low today.
13 there.
Okay. So same thing. You're gonna need to spend some more time with it. You're making some progress. You're able to
But I'll need to look
pinpoint
at it again tonight.
kind of you're able to kind of pinpoint some magical threads through it. But you are definitely gonna have to work on it a little bit more in the evening. Speaking of, as you you can feel and sense that the like evening is starting to come in.
Yeah.
And the halflings in the back are getting kind of tired, and Tip has mentioned a couple of times, has kind of asked like, do we know how far until we get to Canopy? And even with the cart, you're still only really going to be able to go the 20 miles a day. So
we're not running this cart. We're just walking this cart.
No, we're just walking the cart. So unfortunately, we're not getting to Canopy. So Farmer Magdalene says to everybody at a certain point in the evening is like, we're not going to be getting to Canopy tonight. This road or this travel should match up with the river really soon. Like, it kind of follows the river a little bit, and right after that we'll get to Canopy, but I don't think it's a good idea for us to continue pushing forward tonight. So how about we sit and we make camp?
Yeah, let's let us set up and as will let's see, I think I had at one point nope. I don't think I even had a bedroll or anything like that.
That's okay because Farmer Magdalene did
She took everything.
have
All right.
quite a few things that once she realized that they had a cart, she did grab those other things and put them. There's 2 tents and like 5 or 6 bedrolls.
So
and
you're basically kind of adventurers packs and stuff like that.
Yeah, and each of the packs that she gave us in the party, they all have this basic survival things in there as well. So like flint and steel and straps and stuff like that to help tie everything down. So I would like you. Do you have survival?
I don't. I can.
I know you can.
So I imagine we need to start a fire.
Anna, and neither does Farmer Magdalene.
So Az then is going to.
Let me double check Farmer Magdalene's stats really quick.
I had one for.
Nope, she does not have survival. So
Az sits down, looks up at Anna.
you're gonna do the thing, aren't
Yeah.
you? You're doing the thing, okay.
And then as you watch, the body language changes.
And she leans over to Farmer
Face
Magdalene.
twists a little bit.
It's gonna be creepy. It's all right.
It was well, gotta start a fire then. All right. Takes out flint and steel, gathers up some
How
some
long
stuff.
does this last?
It lasts a minute.
1
so
minute, okay.
I would have gathered up some stuff,
Everything
gotten ready,
kind of
gotten
before.
ready, myself ready.
Okay.
And then he spends a minute, gets the little pieces, tiny little stuff that'll light quickly, flint and steels, blows into it, and then sets it underneath with the little, set up, and you watch as the flames begin to build up.
Nice.
And then suddenly after a minute, body language changes back straightens.
And Anna leans over to Farmer Magdalene again and says, "See, I told you, it's creepy."
But then he looks at Anna. Useful, no?
It's you. I never said it wasn't useful. It's just creepy. Like, could you call in a different ancestor that's not quite as odd?
This is the one that comes when I need this type of
Oh,
thing.
that's true. And you've never met him. He's very odd. It's true. All right, so we've got everything up. Food. This is gonna. You're almost down to the end of that first day's rations worth of food, and I'm assuming kind of have a light dinner with what you have. And Farmer Magdalene says to you, "We have 2 tents. I'm assuming," and she looks over at the halflings and kind of questioning them, "I'm assuming you guys want to all be together." And all 3 of them kind of look at each other and nod. They're like, "Well, yeah. And Tip says, "Well, Az can stay with us too, if you want to. If you want to."
Yeah, that would be fine.
Oh, and Farmer Magdalene's like, "Okay, sounds good. So, we'll all be just heading into the tents at this point." I mean,
is there room for all?
That's a really good question. Farmer Magdalene turns and looks at the tent. Well, should we try really quick?
Let us see what
Okay.
would fit. And so then we're gonna kind of play a little Tetris there. It's kind of like when you're going camping with the kids. Like how are you setting up the beds?
Yep, exactly. And if you want to stay in there, it will be incredibly tight.
Okay.
But if you want to stay in the other tent, it is a little bit bigger, but it's not a heck of a lot bigger.
Is it still raining?
Yeah, but the canopy isn't. Like you're not getting touched
The
by
rain's
it.
not coming there?
No.
Az will then, looking at this, he will look over at the cart and I will sleep in the back of the cart.
And Anna leans forward really quickly and says, you can stay in the tent. It's fine.
Yeah.
Really, it's all right. I'll just stay in the back of the cart with the horse and...
Yes.
Yep.
You can stay with the horse.
All right. And...
Do you need assistance with your armor? You should not sleep.
Yes, actually, yes, please. That would be wonderful. Thank you. And the Tip and Brennan kind of look at each other like, okay. And they kind of turn around and they all walk off. And Anna, hold on. I'm going to see if Anna sees that. Hells yes, she sees that. And she looks at them and she's like, do not. No, that's not happening. No.
Az looks at your reaction, completely confused by your sudden outburst at the halflings.
And Tip just kind of giggles a little bit. And
what is going on?
They get down and they kind of just go into the tent. And she's like, bloody freaking hell, are you kidding me? And she's like mumbling under her breath a little bit. And she's like, if you have other things to do, I can do my armor myself. It's fine. And she turns around and she walks to the back of the end of the cart.
And Az, not quite sure why she's mad, suddenly walks into his tent.
Well, I was supposed to say, do you want to follow her
and
find out what's going on?
He's just going to let her huff.
Okay.
He's like,
but then, as she gets to the end of out of the cart, she does shout out. She's like, we should probably do a night watch.
Yes, she is right.
Farmer Magdalene comes back out, and she's Anna's already starting to kind of take things off.
The best plan I can think would be we should have two awake. So one of you, me, or and Anna with one of the other halflings.
And Anna, still struggling with her armor, kind of shouts from the other end of the cart. She's like, it's fine. I can take first watch. Don't worry about it. I'll do it myself. It's fine. It's fine.
Would be wise to have two.
She's still on the other side of the cart, getting all of her armor off, and she's like, no, it's fine. I'll do it.
Very well. Well, I will go lay down. I am not used to this much travel. And so he's going to go, he's going to get in bed, and he's going to go sleep.
Okay. Anna is going to stay up for a little while. The fire's still going. Farmer Magdalene is not quite ready to go in quite yet, and she sits across the fire from Anna, and they sit just in companionable silence. Anna finally having gotten all of her armor off.
Yep, took her a while.
Took everything off. Took like a half an hour. And she gets kind of lost. Oh, there's a fly. Kind of gets lost in the firelight and watching it dance and move and pop. And it's just simple and quiet and beautiful. Eventually, Farmer Magdalene tucks in and she says, all right, are you sure you want to take the watch by yourself? Anna says, yes, it's fine. It really is. It's okay. And she kind of does a shooing motion to Magdalene and says, you get your rest. I have a feeling that once we get to Canopy, there's a lot of, like, whatever you do, that is going to happen once we get to Canopy. And Farmer Magdalene just kind of laughs and is like, yes, well, whatever I do, there is going to be a lot of it happening in Canopy. Good night, Anna. Thank you. And Anna just nods and continues to sit at the fire. The forest gets colder, and she does have a blanket with her that came, and she also has the cloak, the shroud of the afterlife that she pulls out, and she wraps it around her body and sits at the fire. And at some point, you've fallen asleep.
Yes.
And at some point through your dreams, you hear a melody coming through.
A melody.
And I would like you to pause the music, please. And interwoven into your dreams comes a melody that is haunting and familiar. And at some point, you realize that it's Anna singing at the firelight. And she sings. My mother told me someday I would buy a galley with good oars, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer, steady course to the haven, hew many foemen. And she sings that on repeat over and over again as she sits at the firelight. And eventually you fall back into sleep, listening to this tune. And that is where we're going to take a break.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We will be taking a break. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to do our poll. So our poll is going to be for what movie we should watch together as a group. What are you doing?
I've got to open up the poll.
Oh, I'm like, what are you doing? I'm so confused. So we're going to be watching, we're going to do a watch party for our subscribers when we hit 10 subscribers. And it is going to be kind of either way we go, it's going to be a very cheesy fantasy movie.
Well, no, Dragon Slayer's a cool fantasy movie. It's just older.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
okay, we'll go with that. That is if everyone chooses stuff and things and stuff.
So once again, what it is that we will be watching either one or two movies: Dragon Slayer from 1981,
Yep,
classic fantasy, or we will be watching Dudes and Dragons from 2016, a comedic take on the fantasy genre.
yes, exactly. So please put your stuff, your poll, your idea, which movie you would like to watch, and we're going to run this poll until we hit 10 subscribers. So this isn't the last time we will have it, but please put your opinions in the poll.
Unless we get 10 subscribers tonight, then we only need to run it once.
That's true. He is not wrong. So there we go. And Weston is getting it up right now. You need to add an E after the second D in dudes.
That's right.
It's
Otherwise,
not duds. Duds and Dragons. So we're doing Dragon Slayer 1981 and Dudes and Dragons 2016.
All right, the poll has begun. I have no idea how this works. So I
have no clue either. So we will see you in 10 minutes, and at which point we will do the drawing giveaway.
All right, we will see you all in about 10 minutes.
I think we're back though.
I think we're up and running. See if this thing can catch up.
Yeah.
With us again. Hello.
Do you guys remember the part where I told you that we were fighting with technology?
It's been a little rough today.
Today has sucked with technology. Kind of hate it.
The tech has been fighting us a little.
Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, well, we'll continue. And if you guys continue to see any type of weird feedback or whatever, please let us know. But here we go. Wheel of Names.
All right. Ready to click and spin?
Yep, click and spin.
Here we go. Wheel of morality. Turn.
Ow, that
Tell
hurts.
us a lesson that we should learn. Game Gear Master!
Oh my gosh, Jake, you have won! Game Gear Master, you have won a set of 4 gorgeous bamboo coasters.
There we go.
Made by me. That's exciting.
We get
That's
to
exciting.
work with stuff made by him, and he will now get to have stuff made by us.
Yes, that's very
So
exciting.
remove your name.
And we will be doing giveaways. We're going to be
Giveaways.
doing giveaways periodically throughout the like our goals. Like we're going to be hitting other goals. Weston and I are yet to set those, but we are going to continue to do giveaways. If it's the coasters, still that's up for debate. We might be doing. I also make vinyl stickers. And they're all D&D related, like things to go on the back of your car that say any coaster, and you will have to roll for initiative, things like that. So we shall see what we give away in the future. But
Yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and.
that was, yep.
So we are back and ready to go.
Okay, I think we're all good. If you guys see any other issues that pop up with the stream, please let us know as we continue on our journey with Andoriana and Az.
So
Okay. So moving forward, you wake up the next. Yes.
So that night, I take my watch. Correct. So at some point.
Oh,
waking
yes.
up.
At some point, you are going to switch. I guess there wasn't really a timetable set. So at
so I
some
wake up
point
after
in the
a
night.
couple of hours.
Yeah.
I wake up to take second watch. And then I am going to, during that time while I'm awake, I'll also wake up Steve.
Okay.
To be the other person watching.
Cool.
And I will spend some time. I'll pull out the figurine once again to do some more trying to understand the nature of this thing and see what I can do. So I want to try to use an Arcana check.
Okay.
And roll above a 2.
Yeah, let's do another Arcana check.
Come on, dice. Come on, dice. Come on, dice. 17.
Nice.
There we go.
Okay, a 17.
So that's a 17 plus. I'll give me a second.
12?
No, it's not 12. It's I think 11. Let me double check.
Okay.
Plus 10. So 27.
Cool. Okay, 27. So, you, after working for quite a while as you're kind of trying to feel out the magics and making notes about how they all interweave together, you believe you have figured out a way to reach Bruce in the astral plane and pull him into the physical.
All right.
Permanently.
So I'm going to hold on to it and do tomorrow morning. I'll do what I think I can do.
Okay, cool. All right, so the rest of the watch goes uneventful. Anna is asleep in the cart. You give me a perception check.
Yep. What do I perceive? I perceive with a guess.
20.
16.
16. Oh my gosh, what is it with you and that number
So
tonight?
28.
So we have 16 plus, okay, so we got a 28. You hear a lot of tossing and turning and rustling from Anna.
Okay.
And for some reason, the music seems really loud to me right
we're
now.
done with it.
But she is definitely not sleeping well.
Okay.
She is feeling, yeah. So, as you continue your watch, nothing else happens.
I'll go wake up Farmer Magdalene.
By the morning, though, give me a sense magic. Or the magic one.
I actually don't have to roll for
Oh,
that,
that's
so
true.
I
You
can
don't
just
have to roll
sense-
that.
I can just sense if it's nearby. So I'll, again, send out the sonar there and
the
see
sonar,
if I pick up anything.
And you no longer pick up the ping of the magic. So whatever had been following you sometime during the night left.
Cool.
So you get all morning comes. Farmer Magdalene gets up. Tip, Steve, and Brennan get up, and they're all kind of like right to work, breaking down the tents.
Is Anna up yet?
And Anna's up, but she's very groggy and kind of doing the thing she did the morning before, where she's just kind of grunting at everybody and not really interacting all that much. And she's eating her food, and she does kind of kick your shoe a little bit and says, like, "Can you come help me get into the Amma really quick, please?"
Yes, but beforehand, I have something. Come.
All right.
And he's going to lead you over to where, like, find a stone or a log or something to sit down on, and have you sit maybe on the cart if need be. And he says, I want you to take this. Take the and he gives you the figurine.
All right.
She's like, hold it in your hand. Hold it out in your hand.
Okay.
And then he is actually going to take, he takes out a little knife that he does have, and he just kind of goes along and shaves off just a tiny piece, some shaving from the figurine. And then he takes it.
She's not holding it like this. She's holding it like this.
Yeah, takes it out, and then he's rubs it in his hand. Nethys, god of magic, connect that which is apart. And then he's going to take that and he's going to rub it on the outsides of your hands, the dust from the figurine. And then he's going to say, call him.
Like, Bruce, darling, come here.
And as you watch, unlike before in the way that he just kind of came out, you watch as the figurine suddenly disintegrates into dust.
What did you do?
And you watch as the dust floats up and then down towards the ground and then begins to lay itself out in this three-dimensional form of a dog, smaller than you're used to. And then Bruce materializes from the dust. He's smaller than you're used to seeing him. But it is Bruce.
Oh my gosh. And she immediately gets down and gets right in Bruce's face and is kind of like touching him like in disbelief that he's right there. And she's like, Bruce, darling, are you okay? Oh my gosh. And he talks back to her in normal fashion that he did previously. And he says, right, by your reaction, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. And she's like, no, you were definitely supposed to be here. No, you see Az, you remember Az, right? And he's like, yeah, I remember Az. And she's like, I think, and she turns and looks at you and she's like, is this forever? Like for always, because you just destroyed my statue.
He is here on this plane. He will stay that way. He is connected with your energies.
Right.
And he will stay this way unless he is severely injured. If he is injured severely, he will have to return to his home plane. He will return to the figurine. And from my... Sorry, late night. From my calculations, it will take him about a week to restore his energies before we can summon him again.
So you just made me an immortal dog.
He is, if the figurine is destroyed.
You destroyed the figurine.
No, the figurine will reform when he returns to his home plane.
Oh, right. Okay. Nope, I got that.
If it is destroyed at that point, then there will be nothing I can do.
Oh, okay. All right. So, and she looks at Bruce and she says, essentially, darling, you are here always. And he kind of does this little, his tail starts to wag and he does this little pitter patter around her and sits down. She's like, so I'm here always. That means like I don't ever have to leave again. And she's like, no, you never have to leave me ever again. And she gives him a big hug and scritches his ears. And then she stands up and says, I want to introduce you to Horse.
Anna, I connected him with the magical essence that you have.
How is that possible, considering I have no magic?
But you do.
Well, divine magic, but that's from Phrasma. That's
Yes,
not like me.
He is connected with that magic.
Oh. All right, that's cool.
If you lose that magic, you lose Bruce.
I don't necessarily know how I got this magic to begin with, so...
Being one who receives magic also from a deity, generally it would only happen if you piss them off.
Right. Don't piss off the goddess of death.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Simple. Yeah.
I'm pretty much thinking that was a general rule to begin with. Anyway, well, thank you very much. And she turns to Bruce and he's just like, come on, baby. Let's go. Come on. And she kind of gets him to get up into the cart in the front, since I'm assuming that we'll be in the same kind of positions that we were in the day before.
Probably.
Cool. All right. So nothing really else happens. Everything gets torn down and everybody gets back in the cart and you're ready to go. And Farmer Magdalene does say, so this should go forward for another, I'd say another hour or so. And then the road is going to take a swift turn and we will be following the river at that point.
So as just yells down to the horse, Sir Horse, because again he'll refer to him as Sir Horse. Sir Horse, just take us along this road, and we will let you know when it is time to stop.
There's no auditory or there's no real response other than he kicks up and starts walking.
There we go. That's what I was hoping for.
He starts going. His ears do kind of do the little back thing, listening to you, and then he moves forward and he's going, and he's moving along, and it's a very uneventful, trip down. You guys are kind of chatting. Anna is all over Bruce. She's so happy he is here, and he's sitting by her, and she's got her hands really into his fur. As you guys have ever pet a Cane Corso, they have lots of skin. So she's just really, it's almost for her, it's almost like having a piece of stability.
Okay.
For her and with her. As you come up to the bend, you come around the corner, and the road you can see. God, how do I describe this? You come around the bend, and immediately the horse stops.
Okay.
And where should have been a road that continued forward, it's completely washed out.
Oh boy.
So the canopy, this nice, safe, enclosed area that we had all been in the last day, is now exposed, open, and the road that we would be continuing on is a full-on river. There's there's nothing.
Oh, so it's not just
it's not washed
after
out.
the fact. It's there's
currently water that is trailing through and going, and you can see maybe 100 yards off, it's connecting to a large river.
Well,
and Anna just kind of sits there and Farmer Magdalene, we have a problem.
Yeah.
And she kind of climbs up and looks out, and she's like, well, shit. This is not good. There is another way, and she gets out of the cart and she kind of looks around. She's like, there's another way that's farther. Oh man.
Which way?
It's farther to the east, but it's not the most safe. And she...
How so?
Have you ever heard of the Glass Canyon?
Have I ever heard of the Glass Canyon?
Give me a...
Nature?
Yeah, give me a nature check. Nature check works. I will say that's cocked if you want to re-roll it.
It's a 16.
Okay, it's not.
Again.
I'm not going to re-roll it. Well,
26, because
Okay.
I've got the 10 in nature,
26.
so it's 26.
so
Have I heard of it?
you have heard of the Glass Canyon.
Yay!
In your studies throughout your experience with Titus and the vast amount of time that you spent in libraries, you did learn a thing or two about the Glass Canyon. It is a small canyon in the middle of Ravenel that is like a rip and a hole that was created in the ground, and it exposed all of the rock. There are a lot of legends that surround the Glass Canyon and what it actually is and how it was created. Some say it was created at the time of the major fighting between the gods when the warring was happening, and Eridan, right? Did I get the right name? Eridan? No, the name
god?
of the big god.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eridan.
Which one?
The big one. The one that was supposed to come back and...
Yeah.
Yeah, Eridan. Okay. I got it. But that it was during the time that Eridan was fighting with the other gods, and it was a hole. It was basically a scar left on the ground as evidence of the war. It was also... Legends have come about that it was a curse by a powerful Lich King who tried to curse the ground, and it rebounded on him. But essentially, nobody knows why it's here, but it is an exposed area of ground that is crystal quartz.
All right.
And hence the reason why it's called the Glass Canyon, is because it looks like glass as you go through it. So... you remember all of this. So when she says it's the Glass Canyon, you know what she's talking about.
Yep.
And so she says it's just not the safest because first it's off the main route, and we're about and she's like, you can see it. It's not that far away, the main route to get to Canopy, but we can't get there. And so she's like, I don't, and you can see, there is like an area where the cart would fit that you could go around, and it's in the direction of where she was talking about.
Well, if there is no way forward, we must go a different way.
Is there, and she's sitting there thinking, and there's no bridges in the area. She's trying to come up with a different solution, and nothing is coming to mind because everything is on the other side of this washed out area.
Yep.
So she kind of just grumbles a little bit, and she's like, all right, but I don't think we should take the cart with us.
Leave the cart.
There's no, we're going through forest at this point to try and get around to the Glass Canyon. I don't think we can take the cart. We might be able to bring the horse, but I don't think we can take the cart. And Anna's just sitting there like, are you sure? Because the cart is very, very helpful.
Yeah, it is.
And Farmer Magdalene is just kind of like, I don't think, unless you guys can figure out a way to clear a path for the cart as we move, granted, it's going to take us even longer to get to Canopy or to Kintargo.
Az looks over and looks at Anna's sword.
And she's like, don't you even think about it.
Well, I cannot
Yeah, I
clear
don't.
woods.
I'm not a bulldozer, so unfortunately.
I can set
I
fire
can't
to
either.
the woods, but I
No,
cannot.
no.
cannot
We're
clear
not
them.
doing that. Not doing that. So Tip pops her head up and just says, "So we're walking."
Yes, we are walking.
All right. And she and Steve and Brennan get off of the cart and kind of gather all of their things, and they start situating these three. This whole time since leaving Citadel Infrarak have been so incredibly like focused on the task at hand and what needs to be done, and they're no different in this situation. They figure out how and who can hold the tents and who can grab the bedrolls and all of the different things. And they're like, within like 5 minutes, they are ready to go. And they're like, all right, let's go.
All right.
Well,
We walk.
damn. All right, we walk. And are we? Is there any opinions on taking the horse?
Let us ask him. And so I walk up to the
Horse.
Mr. Horse.
Mm-hmm.
You have two choices. We can leave the cart and you come with us, or you can. He looks around. Is there room enough for him to turn around?
Well, it's off to the side, so he wouldn't really have to turn around. He would just have to. You would have to unholster him from the.
No, if you was not coming with us, and he was going back.
He could probably figure out a way to get around the cart and get back.
You can come with us, and we will leave the cart, or you can take the cart back to your master. And so then he steps back. He's like, if you can come, step forward. If not, you can turn around and head back home. And then he steps back to give this horse space to kind of decide what he wants to do.
The horse kind of hoofs at the ground and lifts his head up in kind of almost a human-like nodding gesture. And Anna looks at you and says, I think that's a yes. I think it wants to be unhooked.
So he's going to walk up and begins that process of trying to unhook. He's not that well acquainted with horse.
Not really. Give me an act.
He is going to pause a moment.
Okay.
And he'll say, turn to Anna. I'm going to do that thing.
Okay, it's fine.
And then I'm going to search in through my connection to find an ancestor who knows something of horses.
Okay.
And close my eyes, and then a moment you watch, there's movement. Well. Let us get him unhooked. Well. And he starts to unhook the horse and remove different things, and he knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. And Tip is standing right next to Anna, and she says, "It's creepy, right?"
Do you want me to roll a nature or a?
No, if you're pulling on an ancestor that knows how to do this, then I'm not going to make you roll for
lore horses.
Lore of horses. No, so you get it done just as the 1 minute closes. You get done with your unhooking of the horse, and you, all five of you, six, all six of you with a giant Clydesdale in tow.
Is he big enough that, the halflings could just kind of sit Indian style on his back?
Yeah, they could. Mm-hmm.
So
he is big, that big.
I'm going to ask, would you help me to put the halflings up?
Do they even want to?
And he looks down at them. Would you like to walk or ride?
Brennan immediately. Yes, I would like to ride. Please, please, I would like to ride. And so we get
Pop-
the
yeah, put everyone
halflings,
up.
pop the halflings all up there, except for Farmer Magdalene. She does not want to get up on side. She does not want to
No,
touch that horse.
I didn't think she did.
She doesn't have anything to do with that horse. And she continues moving forward with the like everybody starts moving forward. And for the halflings, it takes a little bit for them to get situated and figure out. The backs of Clydesdales are very, very broad, especially near the hindquarters and the back hips. So they just they finally all get into their settled positions, and you all walk.
I'm gonna call everyone around me before we leave and say, well, if we are going to be walking this time, I will once again cast Show the Way. Because we're having to find our way kind of through the trees and kind of through. So I'm gonna cast Show the Way again, which will help us with that, and we'll be a little bit faster moving than otherwise.
Okay, cool. All right, so because you've had, it is exhausting to sit and be in a cart for an entire day, just like it's exhausting to sit and be in a car for an entire day of driving. You guys aren't able to go as fast as you normally would want to if you were really hoofing it.
Yeah.
But you are moving at a faster hoofing it. I didn't even mean to do that. You are moving at a pretty quick pace as you move forward. You can see the road is beginning, or the path is starting to firm up. It's not as marshy, it's not as watered logged, and this impromptu river that came out of nowhere looks like it's beginning to dry up a little, and it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller as you walk, but it does still take you about 2 hours to get to a place where you might be able to cross to the other side.
As is walking through, if you ever watch someone who's not used to walking on uneven, rock, riverbed type thing is
give me an acrobatics check.
I'm not skilled at all in that.
Okay.
Oh.
And
I'm going to re-roll that
And
one.
in vengeance, he pops it off.
Hey!
Hey.
That is a 19.
Nice. Okay.
Plus 2. Because I have,
21.
I've got some decks there.
Nice. You're not as stumbly as you would expect. But you are definitely not someone who is used to having to walk on uneven terrain.
I'm not.
And you're having to move around. So you do stumble a few times. There's once where you really the full on land in the marshy ground, and your clothing gets a little sogged. But you're able to kind of work through it. And after about 2 hours of walking in this, so we're 3 hours or so into the day, you can see a good break where it would probably be okay to go to the other side of this area. And Magdalene says, as you get to that point, she says, okay, so I think we can cross here. Just be careful. Do not lose your footing. Okay? Please?
Az is going to say, give me a moment.
Okay.
Let us take a slight rest before we cross.
And Anna's like, I could probably just prop you up and move you with me if you want.
How high is the water level?
The water is about shin level. So it's not.
So on the halflings, that's half to their body.
I know. That's why, this is why, the first time that Farmer Magdalene said, I think we might be able to get across at this point, but it's about shin level for a normal adult human. So
is it help the halflings? Give me a moment.
Do we need if we need to take a rest, we can take a rest. It's fine.
Give me 10.
Okay. We're going to give him 10 minutes. And Anna turns around and grabs a stick for Bruce and is like, get your stick, Brucey, get your stick. And he sits there and stares at her like, what are you doing, woman? She's like, I thought we already talked about this. I don't do fetch. She's like, she's stupid. You are going to learn to like fetch. You're going to enjoy it. And he's like, oh, bloody hell, I'm not. And he turns around and just sits down.
So I'm taking 10 minutes to get back my focus point. And then I am going to now to cross this. Would it be an athletics or a survival?
Athletics.
Athletics. Okay. Let me double check. I believe I can do any non-lore skill that I can choose. So I
Don't you have an ancestor?
What?
Don't you have an ancestor that could
Yes, that's what I'm going
get
for.
across this? Okay.
So as goes into himself, he says, "Okay, are we ready
Who are you asking?
to cross?" I'm asking the party,
The group.
The group.
Magdalene
Is
says,
everyone-
yeah, I think we're all ready.
And then he does turn Nana. I am going to seek some assistance in crossing from my ancestors. So
Great.
you have been forewarned.
Okay, at this point, I don't think you have to warn me anymore.
Okay, you told me I needed to warn you every time.
It was creepy the
freaked you
first
out,
few
then-
times that you did it, and now it's fine. You don't need to warn.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, you don't need to warn me anymore.
Yeah.
Thank you, though.
So he gets up to the water, and then again you see, and then you watch as this time body language changes again. This time he kind of spreads his arms a little wider, puffs out a little bit, and well, we are good. Let's go. And the voice it seems deep, really.
Yavo.
Yeah. And he starts to walk through this, and now I got trained in athletics, which will give me +7 on that. So
all right, let's do a roll.
All right.
And Anna is going to roll as well as the halfling.
All right, that is an 18.
18.
Rolled an 11 and
nice.
a 7.
Okay.
Got a 7 on it.
You struggle a little bit, but you are able to get across without any major issues. I need to kind of double check Anna's acrobatics. Okay. Same thing with Anna. She's able to get through pretty easy. Bruce is right next to her, and she's kind of breaking the water for him a little bit, so it's a little bit easier for him. Plus, he's a dog. He has 4 legs.
Yep.
He's able to get across pretty easy. All right, I'm going to roll for the halflings. All right. Jeez. Tip gets across perfectly fine. As does Steve. Brennan struggles, and as he's going across, his foot slips on a larger rock that is covered in like algae moss a little bit, and he goes down. But thankfully, Farmer Magdalene's right behind him, and she just kind of grabs him and holds on to him until he's able to get his feet.
Are we
back
kind
underneath
of
him.
all crossing together?
Yeah, we're kind of all crossing. We're like at a going this, so we're not like this. We're kind of at an angle.
So as also reaches over, hey there, little one. Don't worry, we cross, you and me. And he kind of picks him up, and you watch as all of a sudden he knows to use his whole body in the lift
to lift it. Nice.
To lift him, and starts helping pull him across.
Nice. Okay. And Farmer Magdalene, she struggles a little bit by the end, because she's kind of taking up the rear a little bit, like she's kind of trying to keep everybody together. Her nurturing nature is kind of taking. You're seeing right here. And she does slip just a teeny bit near the end to getting to the other side, but she keeps her feet under her, and she is good. The horse has no problem whatsoever. He gets across. He's standing on the other side waiting for you all, a little bit like, why is this taking so long?
There we go.
So once you guys get to the other side, you are able to spend a minute if you would like to kind of like dry off, pat down. If I don't think anybody really has a change of clothes, so it's not like we can change clothes at this point.
Yeah.
But, so you're good in that regard.
Really
to
need to
keep
get myself
moving forward.
prestidigitation.
You do need to get prestidigitation. This is ridiculous. You are a sorcerer. You are failing at your job. as you continue moving forward, you begin to see pieces of rock and crystal and black lava rocks begin to pop up through the ground. And Farmer Magdalene is the one that is leading this forward. And as you get closer to what you see is like these mounds kind of happening in the very close distance, if that makes any sense. Like you can, like when you're in a forest and there's like, you can see there's stuff back behind the trees. And as soon as you hit this certain point in the forest, the ground goes suddenly. It turns all to crystal quartz. Everything.
Just like, is it like a line?
It's like a line in the sand kind of thing. And there's still trees growing through. So you can, underneath, like knowing that underneath there is soil and there's ground, but there's crystal quartz totally covering the top. Oh, sorry. I just moved here. Fine. All right. As you're moving forward into the area, the ground is a little bit more difficult to walk on. This is 100% difficult terrain at this point to move on. And you come over a rise, and there's a muffled chaos sound coming from the like in front of you. There's like sounds of
Can you use perception to try and...
Yeah, you can use perception.
7 + 12, 19.
19. Okay. You are able, like, you kind of listen kind of closely, and with what you can hear, they're definitely. I sound like Rain Man. Definitely. You can definitely hear the sounds of fighting. There's a swift clang of metal on metal, and then a shout, and the muffled sounds of scuffling major, like large movements back and forth.
I'll immediately, as I hear that, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
And signal Anna, I believe there's trouble ahead.
And she immediately, she goes into
Draw your
warrior, sword. And she grabs her sword and pulls it out, and she looks at Bruce and says, "Bruce, on the ready." And Bruce looks up to her and says, "Right, got it." And he gets on he's on all fours already, but he gets into a rigid stance, tail pointed straight out, and he's kind of growling like he's got it going. And the halflings are kind of like freaked out by this, and Farmer Magdalene is like, "What is happening?"
You stay, Anna. Let's go.
All right. And Farmer Magdalene's like, "No." And she turns and looks at Tip and Steve and Brennan and says, "You stay. I'm going with them."
Well, when he said stay, he didn't look at Farmer Magdalene. He looked at them.
Well, she interpreted it that way. So they, so all three of you come up and over this rise, and you see what is this shorter, smaller kind of canyon that slopes pretty, the incline is really steep down the sides, and it's all this gorgeous like glass quartz, and you immediately see why it's called the Glass Canyon. As the sun is shining down on it, it's reflecting off of all of the multifaceted surfaces of the quartz and making the entire like canyon is like a beacon almost, because it's so bright. So
sun reflecting off of it.
Let me show you
all right,
what it looks like.
So this terrain today, this combat today is brought to you by us and Tabletop Terrain Talks on Monday nights. The terrain that is about to be brought out, if you want to see how it was built, you can check us out on Monday nights for Tabletop Terrain Talks, where we
my trees are all falling.
Where we talk about terrain and how we build what we build.
Yep. Okay.
And I am going to switch the camera. Oh, we never made the overlay, but.
Oh, we didn't make the overlay. That's okay.
Whoa.
All right. So.
Slide towards me a little bit. There we are.
Okay, let me get the camera kind of angled better so you guys can kind of see the other parts of it.
Welcome to the Glass Canyon.
All right.
So what side are we coming in from?
So we are coming in from actually your side over there.
All right. You gotta. All right.
So there's and you can kind of position us like on the side rise as it's coming in.
So like over here or up on the tops of these?
No, like here. We kind of have that abrupt stop, and we're gonna be going down into the canyon at that point. What you see?
Yeah. What do I see?
Is this a merchant ship?
Caravan.
A merchant caravan with a wagon, or not a wagon, a covered carriage. I want to say thank you, carriage, and a merchant wagon that has lots of different boxes and goods, and there is a large chest, and you see a individual who is currently fighting right here.
And what's he fighting?
And he is fighting. I'm sure you could guess what he's fighting. 2 bugbears. And around them, you see there's just a mess of merchandise. And here is Farmer Magdalene.
And do we have Bruce?
And we do have a Bruce. And here is a Bruce.
Bruce is a little big.
Bruce?
Compared.
These minis are not to scale. You can't even see us in the image, but you know.
I think we're hidden behind a tree.
We're hidden behind a tree right now. But we are coming out.
All right.
So this is kind of what you come upon, and he, as you watch, this individual, he's going to swing at one of the bugbears. Move him forward a little bit. He swings forward at one of the bugbears and completely misses. And as he moves about, you see he has got a massive gash down the side of one arm. And this is a guy who is near the end if something doesn't happen very soon. Back here behind the wagon, you can see that there is a person huddled by the wheel of the wagon with a short sword, but it's pretty obvious whoever that is not really in the fight at all. It's all centered on this guy right here.
All right.
So, with that,
have they seen us yet?
They have not seen you yet. So if you would like, we can do a sneak attack round.
Yeah, well, we can do it's just your stealth.
Yeah.
For your initiative roll. You know, no, I'm not going to use stealth because my perception's higher than my stealth.
Okay.
So I'm going to.
My stealth is exactly the same as my perception.
So I'm going to run forward and start attacking.
Okay, at this point, I am going to have you
roll some initiative.
We are going to roll initiative, but I'm also going to have you, Jaeger, Farmer Magdalene.
Yes.
Okay. So let's roll some initiative.
All right. So first rolls for me. That is a 16 plus 12, which will make it a 28.
Jeez. Your stealth is 12?
No, I didn't do stealth.
Oh, you did perception.
I did my perception.
Perception is 12?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Welcome to what happens when you've got a bonus to wisdom.
That's true. Okay, so Anna got a 19 with a +2 initiative. That's 21. So, sorry, tell me again what you got.
28.
28. Okay.
And then let's look at Farmer Magdalene. She's got a perception of... Oh, she got 14. I roll a 14 there. That's a 28 for her. So we matched,
nice.
me and her.
Okay.
I'll go first.
Okay.
And she'll go second. Wherever we fall in
okay,
order.
let me pull out the two bugbears. Do you want to do anything to kind of know what is happening here? Any recall knowledge or
I'm planning on it.
anything like that? Okay. I'm just wondering. Oh, jeez. Nobody can friggin' roll low on initiative, apparently.
Oh, let's switch this up. We need a little action music.
Hold on. Oh, jeez, that's awesome. Okay, so initiative order is as
Magdalene. All right.
Bugbear. Anna.
All right.
It's at the very end.
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right, cool. So we are, with this, we are now officially in combat. As go ahead and make your first action.
All right. First thing, recall knowledge on the creatures.
Okay, cool. Give me a roll.
Which would be a society check.
Mm-hmm.
With society, I've got a plus 10. 11, so 21.
21. Okay. You looking at them, you can tell the little that you do know about bugbear hierarchy, that one of them is just a normal bugbear, which is this one right here, and this one right there is a bugbear stalker.
Okay. Bigger, badder.
He is bigger, badder, significantly more agile, and does have a tendency to do point blank shots and point blank range shots on people.
All right. With my second action, I'm going to place right here. So
Okay.
I might catch the cart a little bit. The person who's hiding behind the wheel, what side of the cart are they hiding?
He's on this side.
Okay,
He's like hidden away.
Then I will place over there, kind of on the side of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
I will place a. I'm going to yell out. There's a free action. To the people over there, I'm going to say, get next to your carts. And then I will throw. He brings his hands together. And then using. You see the small ball of fire that expands, and he yells, Brennan! And fires a fireball right there to catch them, and it will catch some of this cart.
So it's here. So it's 20.
Yep. So it comes over to here. It'll come here. It will miss him, and it'll catch a little bit of the cart.
It's kind of like right
but
here.
it's right there.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, go
So
ahead
they've
and
got
roll
to
for
roll.
damage.
Well, they have to roll a
we have to
reflex
roll a
save.
reflex save. Okay.
Against a DC
Oh, jeez.
20.
Okay, well,
21.
the stalker made it.
All right.
And the, I need to use my clippies. Hold on. Not that clippy, because they're numbered. Clippy, clippy. So the stalker made it, and then the bugbear did not.
All right, cool. So then it is, either way, I am rolling for the fireball 6d6
Jeez Louise.
of damage, trying to kill a bugbear in one hit.
It's a little insanity.
So let's see how this
You might
rolls.
be able to do it.
See how this rolls. All right, so I have got, there's 10 there. That is 12, 22, 27 points of damage.
27, okay.
To the one, which means half of that will be 13. So
Okay.
the one that succeeds takes
Handy
13.
dandy calculator. There it is. All right. Minus. So it's 13.
So 13 to the one that succeeded, 27 to the one who failed.
Okay. As you, as it explodes and just all through here. There are little bits of the greenery and foliage that is living through this all burns, incinerates into ash immediately. And once the fireball is done, all that you see remaining of this little bugbear is just some like scanty bones.
It's 27 took him out, huh?
Oh yeah,
All right.
it definitely did. Plus he was already injured a little bit, so that helps too.
All right. That is the end of my turns.
Okay, cool. So then Farmer
Farmer
Magdalene is going up, and you are Jaegering her.
I imagine that on our way up, she would have pulled out her sling.
Yes.
Because she knew you were, running up for trouble. So, she is going to, range increment is 50 feet. So she's going to run up ahead here, to get a little closer.
Okay.
And then she is going to actually over here. That way she can have a little bit better angle on him. And now she's going to use her sling to try and hit him.
And for any of those viewing, if you're having a hard time seeing her, she's right here.
She's just tiny.
She's very small.
That is a 12 plus 18. So that's a 30.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that hits.
She's got an 8 plus 18 on her hit.
That's pretty amazing.
So that will do 1d6 plus 8. Only a 2. So 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. All right.
That
Quick through
is
this.
her, let's see, one action for shoot, reload is 1. And then she will use her last action to reload her sling with another
All
one.
right.
And that's the end of her turn.
All right, cool. So with sorry, I lost a piece of paper that I need. Okay. With that, no, it's not this one. I put it down because I didn't think I would need it, but I need it. I don't know where I put it, so. Oh well. Okay, so with his action, he is this bugbear is royally pissed off. And as he sees the halfling, he is going to use one action to pull out his crossbow or his longbow. He's going to pull it off of his shoulder, and he is going to shoot his longbow.
Okay.
So let's go with this. Oh, jeez. I guarantee you that doesn't hit.
What is it?
It's 13.
Nope, definitely doesn't hit.
So yeah, that definitely doesn't hit. So so he's gonna pull it back and let one go, and when it just flies off and goes into the tree behind Farmer Magdalene, his aim was just a little too high, really having to fight halflings all that often. So his next action is going to be to run forward and towards Farmer Magdalene up to 30 feet. Yep, we're there. And then he is going to try to intimidate. So he, with the scimitar that he does have, he does have.
So did he drop his bow?
He dropped, well, he's got the scimitar, but he's like with the scimitar and with the bow, and he's like, he's going to go, rah! I can't do rars very well.
Okay.
And he's going to attempt to intimidate Farmer Magdalene.
Okay.
And that was cocked. Oh, jeez. That is a 23 to intimidate.
Is intimidation fortitude?
I believe it's a fortitude save.
Let me check real quick. It's demoralize is the thing. Choose with the will DC.
Oh, it's a will. Okay.
She is frightened.
She is.
Her DC is 20.
Do I have a frightened?
I believe you do.
Or a sickened?
I swear we got
Frightened.
a frightened out there.
She is officially frightened. So Farmer Magdalene is frightened now. And that is his last turn. That is his last action.
All right.
Since the other
Anna.
one is down, now it is Anna's turn. Anna is going to make a full beeline towards this sucker.
All right.
And she was going to attack. However, well, I don't know. Maybe that hits. 16, 20. That is a 20 to hit. That is his AC.
All right.
Yes, so she hit him. That's awesome. Didn't expect
Normal attack or power attack?
that. Normal attack. So we've got a 6. So a 16 points of damage. And he is looking seriously rough. Like, really rough at this point. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, never mind. This is going to be a lot easier than I was expecting. Oh, there it is! Haha!
Okay.
I found it. Okay. All right. So she attacks and hits, and it's a 2, or a 2. It's a 16, and her next action, she's gonna whistle. One of those really cool high-pitched whistles for Bruce, and she's gonna throw it to Bruce, and she's gonna yell, "Heal!"
Wait, so he was right here.
He was back there.
5, 10, 15, 20.
So
25, 30. He can flank.
He can
if he
flank.
wants to.
Awesome. Okay, so he is going to attack with his bite. Okay, which is a 4, 7. Oh, and it's gonna miss.
Ah.
It is gonna miss him. So he goes to bite, and does not manage to get purchase on this creature who is moving about quite a lot. Now it is Az. It is your turn.
It's my turn. So Az is going to yell out, keep him busy. And he's going to run around here to get a better angle on this guy. And then he is going to cast Sudden Bolt, which does 4d12 electricity damage.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So
is there a reflex save on this?
There is. There's
Okay.
a reflex save.
Oh, that's pretty good. So that is a 20. Hold on. Wake up.
It's got to beat 20. 21. It's got to be
25.
All right.
So he does beat it.
So he does beat it. It was 31, so 15 points of damage. As I yell out, as I push my hand forward towards him, and I say, "Der Schlag," and it shoots a bolt of light of. It's not lightning, but it is a ball of electrical energy. Just flashes towards him and whacks into him.
All right. And as that happens, he hits it hits him, and as the electricity is running through his body, he gets a final scream that just kind of dies on his throat as his body crumbles to the ground, and he is taken care of.
There we go.
That was much shorter than I expected it to be because of issues. So, because of issues.
All right.
So, as the bugbear falls down, the final one, the warrior who was standing in front of the merchant cart also collapses at that same moment, as if you would like to.
I like to use I have a reflex that when someone falls, I can immediately move to them.
Yes. What are you gonna do?
And then I will do. I guess combat is.
We're out of combat now.
All right. You know what? I've got it to use. I use my staff, to cast a 2-action heal on him.
Okay.
Which I believe with the staff it's just a single D8 plus 8. So that is 14 points of healing.
Okay, fantastic. All right.
To kind of bring him back up. And then I'll begin treating his wounds with a medicine check once I know that he's stabilized there.
Okay. 14, and then the medicine check is...
That's 7 plus 10, so 17. So
17.
succeeds.
Yeah, that's a success.
So it's 2d. No wait. Missing check.
Is it 2D? Isn't it 2D8 plus 8?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was 7. 15
15
points of healing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As he has collapsed, he is now stabilized, and he is kind of groggily, like sitting up and kind of against the boxes, and he says, "Thank you very much." And Anna comes rushing over, and she's like, "Are you all right? Is everything okay?" And out of the corner of this little wagon comes forward a fairly well-dressed individual, obviously the owner of this merchant cart. And he says, "Well, we would have been quite in trouble if you had not arrived, yes?" And he kind of chuckles, but you can see he's completely white. He is definitely in some type of shock. And that is where we're going to end tonight.
Yep. We'll meet these people and talk more with them.
We will meet them tomorrow. So, thank you so much for everybody who joined the chat. And I want to give a shout out to Old Man Murray 1. Thank you so much for following us and joining us on our adventure tonight. We greatly appreciate it, but it is late, so we will pick this up next week.
All right. Thank you all, and make sure to join us next Monday for Tabletop Terrain Talks, where you can talk about how you made this thing.
Yeah, how we made this, and how I made this, and what we did with that. So it'll be great.
Well, so good night to you all, and remember, it only takes 2.
Good night, you guys.